Mr. Knowles here, and this instructional video is about solving fraction story problems. And the problems came from the Engage New York fractions module. You can find that online. So let's get started. Sue ran 9/10 of a mile on Monday and 7/10 of a mile on Tuesday. How many miles did Sue run in the 2 days? All right. So she ran 9/10 on one day and 9/10, or not 9/10, 7/10 on another day. How many miles did Sue run in the 2 days? So this is an addition problem. So I'm going to add those. Now remember, when you add, the denominator stays the same, and you're going to add the top numbers, the numerators. So the 9 and the 7. 9 and 7 are 16. Okay, we're not quite done yet. We usually don't say she ran 16/10 of a mile, so we need to think about this. So there's this lesson I discussed earlier called number bonds, and we're going to break this 16/10 down into a couple pieces. So if I think of a whole number in tenths, I think of 10/10. So if I have 10/10, what do I have over here? I have 6/10, because 6 and 10 are 16. So 10/10 and 6/10 would be 16/10. And I'm using this so I can visualize the 10/10, and then I know that's the same as one whole. So I really have 1 and 6/10. That's how far Sue ran, 1 and 6/10 miles. So we just have to write that. Sue ran 1 and 6/10 miles in 2 days. Problem 2. Mr. Salazar cut his son's birthday cake into 8 equal pieces. Mr. Salazar, Mrs. Salazar, and the birthday boy each ate 1 piece of cake. What fraction of the cake was left? Well, I could draw a picture. Sometimes that's a lot easier. You could have did that for the first one as well. It's got 8 pieces. Mr. Salazar had 1. Mrs. Salazar had 1. And the birthday boy each ate a piece. What's left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 what? How much was in the whole cake? 5/8. So 5/8 is left over. 5/8 of the cake is left over. Five-eighths of the cake is left. If you're going to do that mathematically, you have to understand that Mr. Salazar ate 1/8, Mrs. Salazar ate 1/8, and the birthday boy ate 1/8, and then you have to subtract those from one whole, which is 8/8. So mathematically, you would have did something like this, minus 3/8, because they each had a piece, all 3 of them, and you would get 5/8. Either one will be acceptable, though, the picture or the math way. Maria spent 4/7 of her money on a book and saved the rest. What fraction of her money did Maria save? Well, we don't know how much money she had, but we know she started out with some money. And the key is 4/7. So the whole thing, all of her money, her entire chunk of money, whatever it was, was 7/7. So that's the same as 1 whole. That's whatever it was. And she spent 4/7. So the mystery is, this is what she spent. This is what's left over. So what's left over? This is what's left over. Together they form 7/7. So 4/7 is over here. What's over here? Together to make 7/7. It's 3/7. So she has 3/7 of her money left. So 3/7 of Maria's money is saved or left. Four. Mrs. Jones had 1 4/8 pizzas left after a party. After giving some to Gary, she had 7/8 pizza left. What fraction of a pizza did she give Gary? Okay, so she had 1 4/8, and she gave Gary, oh, we don't know what she gave Gary. She had 7/8 of the pizza left. Okay. Sounds like a subtraction problem to me. So we're going to subtract 7/8, and then we'll know what she has left. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to change the 1 4/8 to something that it'll be easier to work with. I know that 1 can be represented in eighths as a fraction as 8/8. So I have 8/8 and I have 4/8, and I'm going to put those together, and that will be the same as 1 4/8. So 8/8 plus 4/8, that's 12/8. So 12/8 is the same as 1 4/8. Now this problem will be easier for me to do. So now I'm going to just go over here. 12/8 minus 7/8. Oh, that's 5/8. So that 5/8 means that's the fraction of pizza that she gave Gary. So I'm rereading that question. So, who's this person? Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones gave 5/8 of the pizza to Gary. Excuse me. Number 5. A baker had 2 pans of cornbread. He served 1 1/4 pans. What fraction of a pan was left? Okay, 2 whole pans. I'm going to draw a picture. You don't have to, though. And the key is this fourths. The pans were cut into four equal pieces. The fourths tells you that in the fraction right there. So cut it up into fourths. And he served 1 1/4 pans. So if he served it, that's a subtraction problem. He gave it away. So he gave away 1 whole pan, and then he gave a fourth of another. What's left over? 1, 2, 3. 3/4 is left. 3/4 is left over. That's what's left. One more problem. Marius combined 4/8 gallon of lemonade, 3/8 gallon of cranberry juice, and 6/8 gallon of soda water to make a punch for a party. How many gallons of punch did he make in all? Okay, make in all, that sounds like an addition problem to me, right there. So I have 4/8 plus 3/8 plus 6/8. I have to add them. 8 stays the same, and remember you're just adding your numerators. 4 plus 3 plus 6, I believe, is 13. Okay, we don't usually say 13/8. We usually change the improper fraction to a mixed number. So I'm going to do my number bond strategy. 8/8 is 1 whole, and what's left over is 5/8. So this 8/8 is the same as 1 whole thing, and then I have the 5/8 to put together with it. So my final answer is 1 5/8. So Marius made 1 5/8 gallons of punch. I hope this has been helpful for you.